Hello everybody, it's Netta aka Sarge and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I'll be going over how to play the Sri Lankan defense, what exactly it is, and when to play it. Now, the Sri Lankan defense starts with the English. So if you have not seen my English video already, I definitely recommend that you should go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description below and in the top right corner. So anyway, it starts with 1c4, and if your opponent plays the Hedgehog System, which starts with knight to f6, then we can respond with knight to c3. And the Sri Lankan defense is used to counter the Hedgehog System. The Hedgehog System is a Nimzo-like setup, so we go e6 here. Now, if we have played d4, then we usually see a pin. So, but here we don't do that. We in fact go with the very weird move, e3. Now, what this move does is it says, okay, well, you want to go d4? D5, sorry. I'm going to go d4 myself. So, most of the time they will go d5. And what you do here is you say, okay, well, then I'll just capture back. So you do that, capture back, takes. Now, the reason why we played e3 is first to go d4 if we can, but also we don't want this pawn to be pushed, right? So now we play knight to f3. Now, what knight f3 does is it just eliminates the idea of pushing, and there are several different things that the opponent can play in this position. The first of many things that the opponent can play in this position is knight to c6. So what this is saying is, hey, I like to push my pawn. So if they really want to go for the pawn push, we just play the simple yet effective move, bishop to b5. Now what this move does is it pins the knight, and once again eliminates the option of pushing. Now there are several different things that they could do. They could just push the pawn. In this case, we just take, we trade, and we play d4. And now we have a very winning position, as we have got nice control of the center, and our opponent's pawns are doubled. So this is looking good for us. Now another thing that our opponent could do is bring their bishop to d7. Now here, what we are going to do is we just play d4. We don't in fact take. We eliminate the push this way. So what this does is it says, okay, well, it's kind of hard to stop the push. I don't want to trade off because I'm not doing much, so I just want to stop the push by playing d4 itself. And now we have better control of the center. We are winning, as you can see, and this is pretty good, if not really good, for white. Now, just before I started recording, I played the Sri Lankan defense against someone who played the hedgehog against me, and I got to this position, and I was expecting something like knight c6, maybe bishop out or something, but they actually struck me with knight to e4. So what this does is it says, okay, we can trade off the knight, and I'm just going to attack you on knight. This is actually very fine for us. We just take, and then we play the move queen to a4. Now what this does is it hits the king, hits the pawn, and now we win the pawn. So after a move like bishop blocks, then we take with check again, and this is a very much winning position, as now we hit this pawn as well. So after maybe let's say queen blocks, boom, and now this is very much winning, and we are going to take that rook. So this is really good for white. Once again, as you can see, +4 in this position for white. So once again, this is very much winning for white. Now, what about if they play bishop to d6? Well, this is what something might look like. So we get bishop to d6 here. And the best reply here is just to play d4. So what d4 does is it just strikes in the center, and we have a pretty nice center in this position. Castles from black could happen, and then we bring our bishop out to e2. This just allows us to castle. After this move, they could play c5, and c5 is a decent move. After c5, we just push. They take. We just take back. And trade of the knights, and then takes back again. And now they can't actually just play their knight out here because of the pawn. So it is. I don't know if it is possible to defend the pawn. That's an option. That is an option. So that's pretty much the only way, but it's definitely doesn't look that good of a move. But because then knight just takes and that pawn is gone. So I don't think there is a way to defend that pawn. So that pawn you're gonna win. So they might play something like bishop out here. In which case you can just take with the knight. I think taking with the knight is better than taking with the queen. And you recommend the move. You could take with the knight. You could take with the queen, but the queen doesn't do much. The queen is actually winning for black here, so make sure you take with the knight. So taking with the knight is definitely better. Or even just castle. Castling is perfectly fine for you here. There's no way to hang on to this pawn, so you would just win this position. So castling is definitely much better here. So going back to this position, if black decides not to play d5 and just to play something like knight to c6, for example, we can just play d4. And this is just winning for white here, very much, as you can see. If we get d5 here, then we can just exchange. And then we just play knight to f3, very much winning. Well, it says it's an equal position. It is an equal position, but I would prefer to play as white here. Bishop out, bishop pins, and then we put castles from both sides, and we are very, very slightly winning. So this is the winning position for white here. That's what happens if black decides to play knight to c6 instead of playing d5. But the whole point of the Hedgehog system is to in fact play d5. So that's going to be all from me today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions or any requests on openings you want me to cover, please do leave them in the comments. I'll be sure to check that out. And also, if you haven't seen my English video already, I definitely recommend you check that out. I'll leave a link in the top right and in the description. Also, I will be making a full English course on YouTube that you will be able to watch. It's literally full theory of the English opening, so that'll be really cool as well. So anyway, yeah, that's all from me today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.